I've never met a person who was not successful that didn't have a great amount of self-discipline within their life. Self-discipline and being able to perform and being able to keep your life on schedule and being able to keep commitments and promises and meet deadlines is essential to success. None of us can afford to have a life that is controlled by someone else, or a life that is basically controlled by our emotions. I learned many years ago that there are two kinds of people. There's the type of person who says, I'm going to wait till I feel like it before I do it. And then there's a person who says, I've got to do it so that I feel like it.
Discipline beats motivation every time. And discipline comes from being systemic. Discipline comes from habit. Discipline comes from doing and being. It comes from, like, this is just regular shit. And motivation is like, man, I'm doing a lot. I got a lot going on. It's a lot that I need to do, but I'm still gonna get it done. I'm still gonna make it pop. I'm still gonna make it happen. That's motivation. Discipline is just like, no, this is just what I do. This is what I do.
So a dude screamed to me the other night, hey, Will, I want to be an actor, man. I want to be an actor just like you. You know, usually people say stuff to me like that. I'm like, yeah, man, you know, you can do it. Just give them an encouraging word. But I was just sitting here thinking, and it dawned on me, 99% of people that say stuff like that are not willing to do what it takes to make their dreams come true. The Marines have a saying, everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. And that's just real. At the center of bringing any dream into fruition is self-discipline.
At 6:30, I'm on the way to the gym, pulling up to the gym. I'm at the gym, I'm in the gym. When I get done with the gym, I'm eating a healthy snack while I'm pulling out everything I need to work on my book. I'm writing my book after that. After I get done writing, I'm working on videos, I'm working on content. After I get done with some content, I'm sitting down and I'm reading a chapter or two out of this new book that I just got. Because that's just what I do. That's just what my day looks like. Because I'm not relying on motivation. I'm not relying on those sparks. I'm not relying on that thing that's just going to come sweep me out of bed or sweep me out of this chair and make me do those things. I'm just relying on the fact that this is what I do, because discipline beats motivation every single time.
One will never get anything done because they're still waiting to feel the moment to move, and the other person says, no, I need to move, and then I will begin to feel the moment. Sonia, self-discipline is essential in your life and in my life if we're going to get things done. So I have a challenge for every one of you this weekend. The challenge is simple. As you go through your weekend, and sometimes it's kind of hopefully an easier time of your week, ask yourself, am I practicing self-discipline in my life? Am I doing the things that I should do because I need to do them, or am I kind of waiting to feel the moment? Do like our friends Nike say, just do it.
You know, something as simple as food and eating, it's not about your body as much as it is about your mind. It's getting command of your mind to be able to choose actions that are in your own best interest. Every day, we are choosing shit that's not in our own best interest, right? So if the world is attacking you and the world wants to fight you and the world's trying to hold you down, so you're going to kick yourself in the balls? So you're going to stop yourself from getting what you dream. Self-discipline is the center of all material success. You cannot win the war against the world if you can't win the war against your own mind.
If you study people who are at the pinnacle of anything, you recognize that to get there, motivation was maybe 1% of the formula. Maybe. 1%. And I'll prove it to you. If you want to become a world-class bodybuilder, say an IFBB pro, what that takes is you have to train twice a day, 6 days a week. You have to have 8 meals a day. Your calorie intake is regimented. Your meals are pre-planned and pre-cooked. You don't eat according to taste, you eat according to function.
Imagine this, if you're like, well, I'm only gonna do my best marketing if I'm motivated. I'm gonna do my best sales calls if I'm motivated. I'm gonna go and work out like a beast, but only if I'm motivated. But if I didn't sleep well, if it's raining, if it's cold, if I got indigestion, if I had a nightmare, if I just woke up on the wrong side of bed because I'm a little fucking baby bitch, then I'm not gonna go work out. I'm just gonna dog it.
You thought motivation was the formula. Winners don't need motivation. Winners need discipline. Discipline's about getting it done because it needs to get done, not because I feel like it, not because I'm motivated for it. You think Nelson Mandela was motivated to spend 27 years in prison? You think Martin Luther King was motivated to march across the states and proclaim freedom? You know, if you look at people that change the world, they're not doing it because they're motivated. They're doing it because they made a commitment to do it and they disciplined to see it through. Discipline is far more important than motivation.
Listen, you can't just do the things that you want to do when you're motivated or when things are going in your favor. You have to do these things even when you're not motivated, even when you're tired, even when you're exhausted, even when it's cold, even when it's snowing, even when it's raining, even if you had a nightmare, and even if your sad little baby boy ass woke up on the wrong side of bed, which happens to me often. I wake up bitter and angry some days, but I'm not looking for motivation because I have discipline. No matter what happens, I will still do the things I'm going to do to create the outcome that I'm focused on and that I consistently work towards.
Motivation is a feeling that comes and goes, and it doesn't matter whether it's there or not. Discipline is infinitely more important. So no matter how you feel, get up and do what you're supposed to do. That's it. And that's discipline. It's not motivation. If you only did what you were supposed to do when you were motivated to do it, that's leaving it to chance. But if you're disciplined, you go do what you're supposed to do. That's the way it works.
You don't need talent. You need discipline. And I said, man, I have that. So I started gravitating more towards the everyday person that went way beyond. I can outwork everybody. That's what it takes. I can't dunk. Everything that I want is over here in this fucking pile of shit. Hard work, dedication, sacrifice. I can do that. I can do that all fucking day long. I can get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I can outwork you. That's where I found greatness over there.
Yes, discipline, it does start with waking up early. It really does. But that is just the beginning. And I always say that discipline is the root of all good qualities. You have to absolutely apply it to things outside of just waking up early. It's everything. It's working out every day, making yourself stronger and faster and more flexible and healthier. Discipline is eating the right foods to fuel your system.
What is discipline? And he goes, punishment. When I do something wrong and you punish me. I was like, no. Discipline is training. If you change your mindset, and really focus it on what discipline really is, you start to welcome discipline. You welcome self-discipline into your life.
People that display motivation over long periods of time have systems that put them into limbic friction and then overcome limbic friction again and again. Remember, effort, then reward. And many people are looking for the tools, the hacks, and the tricks that are going to take all the effort part out. What you want to do is build the effort and the limbic friction in, and then the reward in on a consistent.
Nothing is permanent. Nothing is permanent. And a lot of times you have to learn to perform without motivation. You have to learn to perform without purpose. You have to learn to perform a lot of different things. And that's what people think. They think I need to have this motivation to work out, to study, to be better. So if they don't have it, they just fucking do it. And that's where you fail. You have to learn to train your mind well beyond motivation.
Simple. If you don't work out, you don't get a muscle, right? So I always tell people there's a daily practice like priming. If you don't do that, if you get up and you just have no discipline whatsoever, you get no value of anything. And diets don't work when you don't do them. Exercise doesn't work when you don't do them. But most of the people have some experiences that they want to shift And once you shift those things, your whole life changes. But life is constant growth. My life isn't here because I went to one seminar one time and now my life is fit for life. I work out, I train my mind, I train my body. It becomes a lifestyle.
Well, I don't want to grow up to be that. So I won't be disciplined at all. Well, that's no good, because the way the potential transforms itself into actuality is through discipline. And so then you, as you said, this is the trick though. You have to pick a path of discipline. What path of discipline you have to pick is a different issue. So there could be a rule. The rule might not be follow this rule. The rule might be you have to follow some rules. So it's a meta rule. And the meta rule is you have to discipline yourself.
It's about disciplining your emotions so you can make good decisions. It's about having the discipline to control your ego so your ego doesn't get out of hand and control you. It's about treating people the way you would want to be treated and doing the tasks that you don't necessarily want to do, but that you know will help you or help your team. It's about facing your fears. It takes discipline to face your fears so you can conquer them. And that's what discipline is. Discipline means taking the hard road, the uphill road, to do what's right for yourself and for other people.
Stop making excuses. Simple as that. You can make a million excuses why you didn't work out this morning. You can make a million excuses why you missed your wife's birthday. You can make a million excuses why you didn't get that raise, why you didn't take that leap of faith. You can make a million excuses, but you know deep down inside, and consciousness is eating away at you, that it's an excuse. It's not a reason, it's an excuse. Stop making excuses. And when you stop making excuses, the only alternative is then results. I'm not saying that everything you do you should be successful at. You will have periods of defeat. But that defeat will be temporary and not permanent, because you will dust yourself off, get back up, and try again. But you first have to stop making excuses in order to achieve the higher level of life that you want.
To give people this excuse, I don't have the energy to exercise, that is crazy to say. Can you walk to the fucking refrigerator? Yes. Well, you can exercise. You don't have to do anything crazy. Just walk around the block. There's 80-year-old ladies who take yoga with me. They're fucking really old, and they're in there. They're going after it. They could easily say, I don't have the energy to do that. But they don't. It's a mental attitude. They make a decision.
I don't care if you say we outnumbered. We live by this and we die by this. We don't retreat. We don't run. Every man must search his own soul. That's why that Martin Luther King quote, that's why I say like you don't judge a person by where they stand in times of comfort and convenience. You judge them by where they stand in times of challenge and controversy. And if you ain't work, like when you work for something, it gives you a different type of attachment to it. The harder you work, the harder it is to surrender. That's why cats can give up so easy. They ain't got nothing invested. They ain't worked for it. They ain't sacrificed for it. Every time it get tough, they go blow weed. They ain't working for it, right? They ain't got nothing sacrificed into it. But when a cat work for something, like when a cat been sacrificed for something, well, you're gonna have a cold day in hell before you take it from them. Because they value it different.
But you have to do something. Just get your blood moving. Your body has requirements. It wants to move. It really does. And when it does, you feel better. But people like to give themselves this excuse. I do not have the energy to do this. Whatever. If you decide that, that's true. But if you watch a motivational video, there's 100 of them on YouTube, thousands even. Go watch one, you'll get fired up. You're like, fuck it, I'm gonna jump some rope. You jump some rope, you do something. Just do some push-ups, do something, do some body weight squats. You'll feel better.
But standing there, lost, and not doing anything is just waiting to die, waiting to starve to death. Your excuses will destroy you and take everything that you ever wanted from you, if you let them.
Doesn't sound like a friend.
No, it's definitely not a friend. It's definitely not a friend. It can seem like a friend, just like your friend that keeps feeding you drinks at the bar can seem like a friend, but are they really helping you in any way, shape, or form? No, they're not. They're not. So when your excuses make you feel a little bit better about the fact that you didn't execute on what you needed to execute on, then they can make you feel better, but they're not helping you. They're not helping you at all.
My friend Jocko, every morning I'll check his Instagram page, 4:30, shows a picture of his watch, get after it. He's out there working out 4:30 in the morning. He does it every fucking morning. Why? Because he doesn't want to. And that's how you do it. You go and get after it, you don't make any excuses. And those kind of guys are fuel. But those I can't catch a break guys, they're the opposite of fuel. They're just pissing on your fire. They're no fun. And then the people that surround them are all idiots. Because only idiots want to be around I can't catch a break guys.
Yeah.
Only the dummies stick around. After a while, even if they're your good friend, you got to be like, bro, you got to fucking stop. You got to stop with all this I can't catch a break bullshit. All the time you're complaining, you could be instead hustling. You could be instead chasing your dream. You could be instead figuring out what you're doing wrong, trying to improve certain aspects of your life, getting your shit together, reading a book, meditating, something.
Train, study, work, practice. Train, study, work, practice. Train, study, work, practice. And eventually, you will increase your confidence.
Their passion is all over there. Why? Because winners win. And I can't explain it to you, but you better stop making excuses and find a way to win. Because once you start winning, you go from 1,500 to 3,000 to 5,000 to 7,000. You remember, see? From 7 to 10. Nothing changed. We still in the basement. We don't have a building. We still use the garage for all of our products. We don't have business cards. We don't have a 5-year plan. We don't have a 3-year plan. How do you do it then? Even we wake up and grind. Winners win. I focus more on winning than I focus on structure.
Take ownership. Take extreme ownership. Don't make excuses. Don't blame any other person or any other thing. Get control of your ego. Don't hide your delicate pride from the truth. Take ownership of everything in your world, the good and the bad. Take ownership of your mistakes, take ownership of your shortfalls, take ownership of your problems, and then take ownership of the solutions that will get those problems solved.
No, I didn't grow up on that side of the town. No, my mama don't have no network. No, I don't know a whole lot of people. No, I'm not at a country club. No, I don't play golf, and I don't plan on playing no time soon. But I'm still gonna be successful. I'm still gonna get to where they are. Why? Because I owe it to myself. And can't nobody stop me but me. And you need to get rid of them excuses, and you need to stop pointing fingers at people. And you need to start pointing fingers at yourself. What did you not do?
That sounds like excuses to me. I mean, you got to figure it out, right? If you really have an obsession to figure it out, you will figure it out, right? And every puzzle is constructed differently, right? AI's situation when he came into the league was different than mine, right? Everybody has a different puzzle, man. You just got to figure out your own puzzle.
Take ownership of your mission. Take ownership of your job, of your team, of your future, and take ownership of your life. Lead yourself and your team and the people in your life. Lead them all.
I was not always this strong guy you see. I went through a lot of hard times in my life to get here today. I'd like to thank my mom up here who never picked me up when I fell. She taught me how to get up when I was knocked down.
One thing that one of my senseis showed me, he said, listen, this is what we about to do. He said, you didn't pass every test I gave you.
Wow.
Now this gonna be the worst test ever. He blindfolded me and laid me on the floor. He said, now, just lay on your back and wait for me to come attack you. He said, it's a lot of us here. You just wait. And I waited and waited, and I was so tense, and I waited and waited. Then I finally said, man, fuck it, I surrender. And that was the lesson he was teaching me. To surrender. That was the hardest thing I ever had to learn how to do.
Don't take today off. Not today. Wait until tomorrow. Don't give in to the immediate gratification that is whispering in your ear. Shut that down. Do not listen to that little voice. Instead, go through the motions. Lift the weights, sprint the hill, work on the project, get out of bed.
See, when you invest in something, and you hustle and you work for something, you got a different type of attachment to it. You're gonna have a cold day in hell for somebody to try to take this from you. We live by this, we die by this. We don't surrender, we don't retreat. Every man must search his own soul. I listen to that quote every morning. Every man must search his own soul. And I gotta just tell the truth. I don't feel like a lot of these people feel. Are they scared to say that's how they feel? I don't care.
I'm fortunate enough to be on top, but anytime you reach the top, you always want to make sure that you have the desire to raise the bar and take the brass ring to places it's never been. That's the key with being on top. Just because it's never been done doesn't mean it can't be done. And in terms of competition, great question. Everyone's my competition, but a fundamental key that I've learned over the years is, and I'll share it with you, my number one competition is me. It's always you versus you. You got to be the one to get up every morning, be disciplined, put in the consistent daily hard work, because that gains success. No coach, no trainer, no mentor, no boss can do it. You versus you.
That's what give me my drive right now, because when I look in the mirror and I think back in retrospect, and I always wonder, I would hate to suffer with the regret of what if I only would have tried. It hurt me when I remember being in prison watching all them different artists on TV winning Grammys and whatever it is they win. I was like, you know in your soul that's supposed to be. That's why I love when Inca Johnson say that. We live by this, we die by this, we don't surrender, we don't retreat. Every man must search his own soul. I listen to that quote every morning.
And I want to be in my fucking pine box, and I believe your spirit lives forever. It has to. It's too fucking powerful. No way in hell that thing just dies when you die. I want to be able to look back on my life when I'm all dead and be so fucking proud of myself forever. This is all temporary shit to me. I want to be forever proud of who I was as a man and change who I used to be. The liar, the insecure guy, the guy who can, whatever. I want to be proud. If I die now, if I die at 8, if I die at 90, 100, I want to look at myself and say, proud of myself.
Children, gather round. No retreat, no surrender. That is Spartan law. And by Spartan law, we will stand and fight and die. A new age has begun. An age of freedom. And all will know that 300 Spartans gave their last breath to defend it.
If you look at the greats in anything that, in any walk of life, the greats do things when they don't always want to. And that's the separation. For me, that's what I've found. Because I can sure as hell tell you that there were days where I hated my coach. There were days where we got in fights, we got in arguments, we couldn't stand what we were doing. I would do things purposely to piss him off, but that's a different story. But, you know, I think that was just really how we worked. Like, he was somebody who was so perfect for me that if I ever would have swam for anybody else, I never would have had the chance to do what I did, because he challenged me in ways and forced my mind to think differently.
I think the definition of greatness is to inspire the people next to you. Yeah, I think that's what greatness is or should be. It's not something that lives and dies with one person. It's how can you inspire a person to then in turn inspire another person that then inspires another person. And that's how you create something that I think lasts forever. And I think that's our challenge as people, is to figure out how our story can impact others and motivate them in a way to create their own greatness.
You know, for me as a kid growing up, I'm huge into music, and music is a big part of my life. And I'm a huge Biggie Smalls fan, and he wrote a song called "The Sky Is the Limit." And as a kid growing up, I believed that. I believed that whatever I put my mind to, and if I was willing to make sacrifices and I was dedicated, that I could achieve absolutely anything.
When you grow up, you tend to get told that the world is the way it is, and your life is just to live your life inside the world, try not to bash into the walls too much, try to have a nice family life, have fun, save a little money. But life, that's a very limited life.
For me, greatness is continuing to improve, continuing to be better. I don't think there's an end point for greatness. I just don't think that exists. I think it's a constant curiosity of trying to figure out ways to be better ways to improve. And I think greatness is more of a mindset than it is an actual goal that you have reached. So that's how I define it, is continuing to find new ways to do things, continuing to challenge what's ordinary, or what people define as ordinary. That's what I think greatness is.
To be successful at anything, the truth is you don't have to be special. You just have to be what most people aren't. Consistent, determined, and willing to work for it. No shortcuts. If you look at all my teammates here tonight, it would be impossible to find better examples of men who embody that work ethic, integrity, purpose, determination, and discipline that it takes to be a champion in life.
Greatness is not meant for a few chosen people. It's meant for those who persistently pursue their dreams every day and make that choice when they wake up. So just a mentality, really. Eliminate all external distractions, that's what's going on, and just focus on the process itself and enjoying it every single day. Chopping wood, carrying water. Greatness is not meant for a few chosen people. It's meant for those who persistently pursue their dreams every day and make that choice when they wake up.
If you want to be great, you want to be the baddest motherfucker ever at what you do, you're going to be misunderstood by everybody because you're going to be so fucking obsessed and so driven to get there. That's what it takes.
That's the truth.
It takes every second of your fucking life. Anybody says balance? Yeah, balance is important for a lot of fucking people. It is. But if you want to fucking go to that edge where people do not like you, don't understand you, question everything you fucking do, you've arrived. When you are misunderstood to the point where fucking people think you're psycho and you're nuts and you're this and that, why are you in the fucking gym at 1 o'clock in the fucking morning? You just got to doing an op for fucking 13, 14 hours after Ranger School, man, at the gym. What's wrong? You will never understand what is wrong with me. And that's why I'm so fucking glad you don't.
Only thing I don't like is them to put the bag before the game. Because the game always has to come first. Chase the game. Like if you chase greatness, the money's gonna come. Don't chase the money. Because greatness don't come just because of the money. The money comes because of the greatness.
How far he grew. In that short period of time, he grew so much more than the normal person because he was willing to go outside himself. Because on the other end of suffering is greatness. It's not over here. So a whole bunch of us, we put ourselves in this great box. And in that box, there's no suffering in it. So what we do is we shelter ourselves from greatness.
Life can be much broader once you discover one simple fact, and that is everything around you that you call life was made up by people that were no smarter than you. And you can change it. You can influence it. You can build your own things that other people can use. And the minute that you understand that you can poke life and actually something will, if you push in, something will pop out the other side, that you can change it, you can mold it. That's maybe the most important thing.
If you make it to 100, you lose two things. Perhaps your independence and definitely your youth, right? So people who are 100, they may still be alive, but they may not have all of their independence. Like you might not be able to get in the car and just take off whenever you want to take off. Like there might be some other things that mentally or your health that's not 100%, and your youth is definitely gone. And I look at Coleman and was like, yo, you didn't necessarily live to be 100, but the time you had on earth, you put in work, and then you went and dominated one area, and then you start coming over and say, now I'm coming into some other areas that are not my areas per se, but I'm gonna bring my greatness over here and I'm gonna kill it. And that's all I'm saying to people. Greatness is in you, activate it.
The most frustrating thing in the world for me is when normal people judge a man like myself on what it really takes to extract greatness from nothing.
You will fail your way to success. See, 85% of people allow their fear of failure to outweigh their desire to succeed. You're going to make some mistakes, and it's okay. Anything that's worth doing is worth doing badly. It's worth doing right if you know how to do it, but if you don't know how to do it, it's worth doing badly until you get it right. You have to be willing to experiment with life. You've got greatness within you, but you will not discover your greatness in your comfort zone. You've got to be willing to get outside of your comfort zone, because in order to do something you've never done, you've got to become someone you've never been. And most people, they go to their graves with their greatness still in them.
I'm training people to get into their greatness, to begin to develop the courage to pursue dreams beyond their comfort zones.
Greatness is here, but it ain't on Cam's shoulders no more. It ain't on Farley's shoulder no more. It ain't on Bo Jackson's shoulder no more. Now greatness is on whose shoulder? That's why I wake up every morning at 2 o'clock, 2:30, because I got my mama counting on me. I got my sister counting on me. I got my son and my daughter counting on me. I got a world that gets up every morning and watches me. I got little kids who don't believe that they can do it. When they saw me, they thought, now they can do it. So I get up every morning at 2:30, 3 o'clock. Why? Because greatness is upon me. Dr. King is dead. Malcolm X is dead. I'm that new guy. I'm that new inspiration. I'm the guy you look at when your daddy ain't in your life, when your daddy in prison. I'm that guy that comes to your high school and tell you, you can make it happen. Greatness is upon you. You better act like it.
You know, worked really hard because I developed this work ethic in high school, and I realized, man, if I want to be good, I gotta wake up in the morning, I gotta do the extra work, and I gotta show up when other guys aren't, and I've got to learn, I've got to continue to be open to learning. And my freshman year, I redshirted, never played, barely practiced, but I learned a lot. My second year, I had improved a lot physically through that work. I started to compete in a way that the coaches would notice me a little bit. And my second year, it was a few little crazy stories of how it got to be the way that it did, but I ended up becoming the third quarterback in my second year. And it rotated a little bit there my second year, but I went from third in my second year to now my third year, I was competing to be a starter.
There's all kinds of different ways to break. You can break physically, you can break mentally, you can break your heart, you can break your spirit, and none of those are fun, and all of those are gonna leave a mark. But the mark that they leave can be the mark of victory, or it can be the mark of defeat. But there's also opportunity. There's opportunity to get stronger, and get smarter, and get faster, and get tougher, and get more stable, and get more resilient, and get better.
There's gonna be more times you do something that you don't want to do than you are gonna want to do it. And that's your new norm. That's your new norm. So then it's like breathing. And then once you do this over and over and over again, it becomes like breathing. I don't want to live this lifestyle, but to get to the other side of this, I have to. So if you really want it, you realize what trying is and what trying is not.
Wake up! Wake up! Get up out of bed! All right? It's time to win the day! So get up and go to the gym! Wahoo!
It will not be easy. Start each day with a task completed. Find someone to help you through life. Respect everyone. Know that life is not fair and that you will fail often. But if you take some risks, step up when the times are the toughest, face down the bullies, lift up the downtrodden, and never ever give up. If you do these things, the next generation and the generations that follow will live in a world far better than the one we have today. And what started here will indeed have changed the world for the better.
The biggest risk to your future isn't your competition. It's the distractions you insist on keeping in your life rather than doing the things you know you should be doing but aren't. People delay doing things they don't like for longer than it takes to do them.
Wake up. We have a moral burden to bear, and that's the adventure of our life. That's the other thing so interesting about the Abrahamic story is that God calls Abraham out of his luxurious slumber and sends him into a catastrophe. Tyranny, starvation, war, brutal. But he has the adventure of his life. We're built for the adventure of our lives. You find that in orienting yourself to the highest possible good in all ways and speaking the truth forthrightly along that pathway.
If people can make up a mission statement, an ethos in which they want to live by, and every morning you wake up, you hold yourself accountable to that mission, not a company is your own. Make up your own mission statement. What do you want to be in life? And once you do that, now you can work with somebody to get better. You can work with yourself to get better. But until you know what you want to stand for, you will always just be sitting down. You'll never stand for anything.
Rich people don't sleep 8 hours a day. That's a third of your life. It ain't even 24 hours in a day. You cannot be sleep 8 hours a day. You can't live in LA and wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning. It's 11 o'clock on the East Coast. The stock market been open 2 hours. They already making decisions about your life and your ass was asleep. The Bible says, he who loves to sleep and the folding of hands, poverty will set upon you like a thief in the night. He who loves to sleep and the folding of hands, poverty will set upon you like a thief in the night.
When that alarm clock goes off at 4 or 5 in the morning, your mind says no. You just say, this is what we do. It's what we do now. Because to get to where you want to go, the amount of pain involved, I'm not saying physical, I'm not saying you got to break yourself off. The amount of mental pain of how many times you're going to have to do something that you don't want to do to get to where you want to go.
If your job is to try to be the best basketball player you can be, right? To do that, you have to practice, you have to train, right? You want to train as much as you can, as often as you can. So if you get up at 10 in the morning, train at 11, right? 12, say 12, train at 12, train for 2 hours, 12 to 2. You have to let your body recover. So you eat, recover, whatever. You get back out, you train, start training again at 6. Train from 6 to 8. Right? And now you go home, you shower, you eat dinner, you go to bed, you wake up, you do it again, right? Those are 2 sessions. Right? Now imagine you wake up at 3, you train at 4, you go 4 to 6, come home, breakfast, relax, blah, blah, blah. Now you're back at it again, 9 to 11, right? You relax, and now all of a sudden you're back at it again, 2 to 4, and now you're back at it again, 7 to 9. Look how much more training I have done by simply starting at 4.
Keep working. Keep striving, never give up, fall down 7 times, get up 8. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. So keep moving, keep growing, keep learning. See you at work.
Most people just don't understand that you are being primed all the time, and unless you prime yourself, you're going to be primed by the environment. Your brain right now is being conditioned and triggered whether you know it or not. It's being done continuously. So I want to take control of my brain. So I do 3 quick things. 1, I take 3 minutes and I focus on 3 different events in my life that I'm grateful for. The 2 emotions that mess up your business, your life, your relationships are anger and fear. You can't be angry and grateful simultaneously. And you can't be fearful and grateful simultaneously. Then real fast, I do this 3-minute process that's kind of like a blessing. And then 3 minutes, the last 3 minutes are called 3 to Thrive, where I focus on 3 things I want to accomplish, but instead of thinking I want to accomplish, I see, feel, and experience it as done. I feel grateful, I celebrate it, and it trains your brain. So in 10 minutes, I'm done.
It's time to wake up. It's time to wake up, baby girl. It's time to straighten up your crown and get your life back. Understand me with what I'm saying. It's time to straighten up your crown and get your life back. Cause you know better than I know that you cannot give up. You can't afford to give up. You got people depending on you. You got people looking up to you. You got your own dreams. You got your own goals. You cannot afford to give up. Cause I understand that life might hit you. Life is going to hit you. You are not special when it comes to that. And you know what? Life sometimes will knock you on your ass. It will knock you on your ass.
People don't know how to turn their minds on. People don't know about this votes and laws, why I say it, why I start yelling. I'm trying to activate something. I'm trying to activate passion, want, hunger, the dog, the savage. That motherfucker's falling asleep. When I show up knowing I'm in great shape, I can wake that savage beast up. You gotta learn yourself, know how to wake yourself up. But if you don't show up in the best shape of your life, your mind is worthless to you, so your savage is fucking dead.
So when you get back up, you are ready. And I'm telling you that you are ready. You are ready to conquer everything that you have not been able to conquer. So understand me right now. I don't care what it is. It could be baby daddy issues. It could be boyfriend issues. I'm trying to tell you right now that that's his loss. That is his loss. Understand your worth. Understand your value. Understand where you came from. I don't care what it could be. It could be financial issues. Understand what I'm telling you right now. That you will not be able to get to where you want to get to until you wake up. You could have lost somebody special in your family. Understand that I lost somebody special. I lost my daddy, but I need to wake up. I need to live for him. You need to live for him or her. Live for him, win for them. But it's time to wake up.
Level up. I know there's a whole bunch of people with that right there. That fires me up. That makes me fucking happy what you just said. That brings joy to my life right there.
Why?
Because I know there's so many people that have the ability and just refuse to get off that couch. Refuse to study a few more hours. Refuse to go deeper, to go further. And that's where I gain the advantage. It's so easy to be great nowadays, my friend, because most people are weak. Most people don't want to go to that extra mile. Most people don't want to find that extra because it sucks. It's miserable. It's lonely.
If you want to wake up early, I got an idea. Go to bed earlier. And here's the problem. You go to bed earlier and you're not tired yet. Why? Because you slept in until 9 o'clock in the morning. So you have to start the cycle. The cycle starts with a little bit of suffering. The cycle starts with a little bit of pain. The first time your alarm clock ever goes off earlier than you used to, it's gonna make you feel like I don't want to do this. Do it. And then that night, you'll be tired a little earlier and you can go to sleep a little earlier.